everyone, and welcome to my channel. As an emerging leader, you might ask yourself, what's the likelihood that I'm going to be a successful leader? Or what are some of the ways that emerging leaders can set themselves up for success? Well, I spent a lot of time studying the habits of successful leaders, and I found that there are some telltale signs that effective leaders have in common, and they display those traits even before they get the leadership position. Whether those people are athletes, business executives, or school administrators, there are a few qualities that they all possess that set them up for success. Well, if you're interested in discovering which of these characteristics you possess, then keep watching this video, because today's topic is 5 signs that you're going to be a successful leader. Keep watching. I'm Jeboria, and welcome to the best place for new and emerging leaders who want help navigating challenging conversations in the workplace. When it comes to figuring out how to know that you're a good leader, many of us tend to miss key indicators of leadership effectiveness, and it's absolutely normal to miss those clues when we're researching what successful leaders do. That's why in this video, I'll give tips and tricks on how to become a successful leader so that you can recognize executive leadership traits when you see them and have what it takes to be a great leader. So don't forget to like this video, and let's get right into it. The first sign that you're going to be a successful leader is that you have great habits. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, writes, "Success is the product of daily habits, not a once-in-a-lifetime transformation." Sometimes people desire to be successful and think that it will happen overnight, like instantly winning the lottery. The truth is that tomorrow's success is a direct result of the small, often very simple things that we do today. If you look at their behavior patterns, it's evident that unsuccessful people usually have awful habits. The opposite is also true of people who achieve success because they often have some kind of system in place to help them along. Successful leaders have great habits because they understand that the habits or practices that they put in place today not only provide the discipline and structure that's necessary to be great at anything, they also understand that the things that we practice with purpose today will create the person that we hope to become in the future. Claire also wrote that, ultimately, it's our commitment to the process that determines our progress. When you fail to create good habits, which usually means establishing a series of routine systems that you can use to manage yourself and your day, you will usually always be a bystander in your own life instead of taking the lead role, the starring role, by being an active participant in your life. In essence, people who have good habits take charge of their lives instead of just allowing life to happen to them. Let's get into tip number 2. The second sign that you're going to be a successful leader is that you take action. Leaders are usually pioneers who take action in ways that are proactive rather than reactive for the benefit of themselves and others. If you're self-motivated and you have this internal drive to be above average, then it's a sign that you'll be successful. I'm not talking about personal drive that makes you a bully to others or makes you disagreeable at work. I'm talking about having a personal drive that motivates you to take the kind of action that ensures results. No matter what position you currently hold, if you see something that needs improvement, you take the initiative to solve the problem and make a suggestion that leads to a helpful resolution of that problem. And that's a success indicator. In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, author Stephen Covey takes an inward approach instead of an outward approach on what makes people successful. In success habit number 1, Covey explains that people who are less successful are almost always reactive. This means that they often complain about things and blame others for less than ideal and unfavorable circumstances. These people don't take ownership over the things that they're able to control. People who choose to be proactive realize that their decisions determine their actions. Proactive people understand that they have the power to change certain situations that are within their control instead of looking to others to change things for them. There are many things in life that we can't really control. However, successful leaders are self-starters who take action to improve the things that they can control without negatively impacting others, and they encourage others to do the same. I would also take this point a step further by saying that being proactive isn't enough when making leadership decisions. It's important not to take action simply because you can and because you want to demonstrate that you are a decisive leader and you know what you're doing. I believe that it's important for leaders to first assess each and every situation and determine what specific actions are really necessary. The evaluation process could include determining the impact on the team and also the impact on the customer. Thoughtful leaders weigh the pros and cons before taking a decisive action to ensure the best possible outcome. Successful leaders are also willing to take responsibility for any decisions that they make, no matter what the outcome is. The bottom line here is driven people don't procrastinate. They don't hesitate to take action on their ideas, and they are resilient in the face of setbacks. This takes me to my very next point. The third sign that you're going to be a successful leader is that you're willing to put in the work. Being a leader takes determination, dedication, effort, focus, discipline, and belief in personal and professional development. Successful leaders read constantly and they want to learn more and more. Motivational speaker and author Les Brown said, "You must be willing to do the things today that others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow that others won't have." The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to set yourself apart from other leaders to be the best at what you do? Being an effective leader requires some sacrifice. That goes without saying. And a part of that is to learn all that you can. The era that we live in now is the best time to be alive because we have so much access to information. The key is to gain mastery. People who gain mastery have an insatiable tunnel vision-like focus on getting better at a particular thing. If leadership is your thing, then gaining mastery helps you to set yourself apart from the average leader who doesn't intentionally apply that specific focus to personal development. And the more that you apply, the more proficient and successful you become at any given task. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Truly successful leaders have decided that leadership is the path for them, and they direct all of their considerable effort and energy toward being great at it. Just like in other chosen fields, you want to learn as much as possible so that you can provide maximum value to those that you serve. Take an industry like construction, for example. Let's say you want to build a house. Well, in the home construction process, there's someone hired to do the electrical work, another person hired to do the plumbing work, and you might have others hired or contracted to do roofing or foundation work. All of those are specified fields where you have to have specific training and licensure in order to be proficient in that task. So just like in this example, leaders are most effective when they apply training and knowledge to their leadership craft. This is only possible when we keep our mind open to learn and to grow with a growth mindset. Author and thought leader Carol Dweck talks about having a growth mindset in her book of that same title. She offers that anyone can become good at anything if they keep their mind open. Dweck explains that intellectual skills can be cultivated through effort and learning development. People who believe that our qualities are carved in stone or are present have a fixed mindset, while people who believe that basic qualities can be improved and cultivated through hard work and perseverance have a growth mindset. This means that it's okay to have leadership ability, but expanding upon your knowledge base is most important. An added benefit to building upon your knowledge base and gaining mastery is that you will develop into a leader that others turn to for leadership advice. Gaining mastery also has the potential to open you up to promotional opportunities when they become available. Another indication that you will be a successful leader is that in your quest to gain knowledge, you're also willing to learn from others. As the popular saying goes, success leaves clues. Successful leaders are willing to learn from anyone. They glean valuable lessons and tips from others, and they use this as a leadership blueprint. Simply put, a leader who's willing to put in the work will be unstoppable. The fourth sign that you're going to be a successful leader is that you have good values. Leaders who have good values as their hallmark and practice them will most often always succeed. This is because our personal value system speaks to our character, and it teaches people who we are and what we stand for. It also helps us to connect with others. Setting a good example of valuable leadership qualities is the hallmark of any successful leader. For example, people who lead with integrity, practice generosity, and show appreciation are usually admired and respected. This is because having an established value system teaches people what to expect from you, and it allows you to build connections that lead to trust. And trust is one of the most valuable leadership commodities that an effective leader can possess. According to Stephen M. R. Covey, the author of Speed of Trust, there's one thing that's common to every individual. That one thing, if developed and leveraged, has the potential to create unparalleled success and prosperity in every dimension of life. Yet, it's the least understood, most neglected, most underestimated possibility of our time. That one thing is trust. Leaders who spend time cultivating a value system that includes things like building trust, honesty, vulnerability, transparency, etc., take their leadership beyond the mediocre. This is because an established value system that's consistently on display allows the leader to connect and model the way, thus broadening their influence on those around them. This often results in people wanting to emulate or mirror that behavior. Before we move on, let me know in the comments which one of these leadership traits you possess. Sign number 5 that you're going to be a successful leader is that you want to positively impact others. Successful leaders have a burning desire to make a positive contribution to the work by serving others in a leadership capacity. These leaders usually also have a positive influence on others. Direct reports often choose to follow these leaders and seek their guidance often. They give the leader positive feedback on how the leader has helped them, and they look to that person whether they have a formalized leadership role or not. Leaders who make a positive impact look forward to serving, and they consistently and constantly add value to others. The impactful leader usually has this calling to lead and can't imagine doing anything else. This kind of leader has great ideas to solve problems, and they are usually almost always people-oriented. Impactful leaders look to build a legacy influencing others in ways that have lasting effects for years to come. Being willing to serve is a part of that. Les Brown puts it best in his quote that says, "Live a life that will outlast you." Successful leaders know that the position is not all about them being the boss. It's about having a desire to serve others and see others succeed. John Maxwell says that leadership is a choice, not a position. What's your motive? What do you want to do? Why do you want to be a leader? Do you want to serve a greater good? African-American author and activist Toni Morrison said, "You are your best thing. Only you can determine what kind of successful leader you're going to be. It will be determined by your actions and the mindset that you choose to have. And ultimately, it's all up to you." Now, if you're watching this video and you want to learn more about how to prepare for leadership, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell, because in my next video, I'm going to talk about 6 areas that you can continue to develop in order to become a successful leader. Well, as always, have a great week, be kind to yourself, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.